Hello, Flosstube! We are officially in April now, and I realized it's time for my first quarter WIP parade for 2025. So, I think I did one at the beginning of the year. It's been 3 or so months now. So we're going to do my WIPs. I think I was trying to keep it under 25. And currently my WIP count is 23. I had a recent finish. I have my roll in here. Yes. So I'll be showing this in my update video too, but I recently finished my Mercy and Grace by Sweet Wing Studio. So I'm down to 23 WIPs. I think I have it maxed out to 25. So I don't know if I'll start some small things to bring it up, but for right now, this is where I'm at. So I'm going to go from biggest to smallest instead of, I think last time I went from oldest to newest. So we'll start with the biggest one. I'll insert pictures as we go. This is a Hay. This is called Selena Fenech. It is retired. Hay no longer has Selena Fenech's artwork. And this is where I'm at. I'm stitching this 2/1 tent on 28 count. I started in the bottom left corner, and I just have some black here. I started this end of last year on December 30th. Currently, I have a little over 1,000 stitches in, and it's at 0.27%. This pattern has almost just under 375,000 stitches, so it is the biggest piece I've ever started. I'm stitching on this with Dailen and Pink Glove Stitcher for Finish Before I'm Finished. This is actually the first Hay I ever bought, and they gave me enough moral support to start it, so we'll see how long it takes me to get enough progress on this, but I do have at least, we'll see if I get to 1%. How about that, because it's not even at 1% yet. Oh goodness, okay. But that's where I'm at with that one. Next one is my Disney Princesses. This is a chart I bought off of Etsy. I think I got it off of Zanna Stitch. And I'll insert pictures as I go. I'm stitching this one also 28 count even weave 2/1 tent, and I just have a little over 1,000 stitches on this one as well. This one has a total stitch count of just under 293,000 stitches, and I'm actually at 0.37%, so not at 101% with this one either. Maybe that's my goal, to try to get this to 1% every time I show it in the WIP parade. Yeah, that's a goal, right? I haven't been doing as much progress on my full coverage as I want, and somebody suggested doing, well, several people suggested doing a decisions wheel to help me like bring it up more regularly. So now I just got to decide what time of the week I want to work on it to get some regular progress, and then spin a wheel and see how I go. That one I started for Allison's. Was it I think it was Allison's birthday. Either Allison or Stephanie from Across the Globe. They had a birthday on the 4th, and they wanted to do a hashtag Princess Birthday B-Day sale. So I started that on the January the 4th this year. The next one is my Gecko Rouge kit that I'm still working on. This was my biggest piece until I started those. I have over 71,000 stitches done, and it's currently at 31.8%, so not quite 32%. I am stitching this 2/1 on 28 count gridded even weave. This is a Rouge kit, artwork by Dailen Ogden. They have a, I think they still have this one on the Rouge site. I think they also have one that has like house moving castle. That's really pretty. But I want to finish this before I start anything else or purchase anything else. Still trying to stick with my rule of one per company, but we'll see. There's some gift stitching that I'm doing that kind of breaks that. You'll see. I started this back in when they were doing the release of House of Dragons, I believe. So this was in August 21st, 2022. So I've been working on this for a few years at this point. It's gonna be 3 years this August. So I definitely want to get more progress on this. I mean, I have a pretty good chunk in. I'm a quarter of the way in. Maybe I can get more progress in and maybe get halfway. I don't know. That seems like a crazy goal. How much would that be in addition to... Well, that wouldn't be too bad, right? That'd be like 20,000 stitches? Well, 40,000 stitches? Maybe that's more than I was thinking. We'll see. I've kind of just got stuck in some places and I just need to go back to finding a system to work this through. But that's where I'm at on that one. The next one I'm going to be stitching on for this month. No. We're still on my full coverage pieces. Next one is my Persephone. Insert a picture. This is a chart I got from Geeks. Artwork by Chrissabug. I'm stitching this one also 2/1 tent stitch on 28 count. Evenly, my sister helped me dye this a nice pretty color, so I won't have to do all the background. And I actually have the most significant progress on this one. This was my New Year start, and I have had over 5,000 stitches this year. I have it to 5.87%, almost 6%. Oh, I didn't mention, so my Dracarys is just under 225, so just under a quarter mil stitches. This one I'm not doing the background, so the cropped stitch count is 89,129, and I have 5,000 of that done, so almost 6%. So I've gotten a bit on this, and I'm really enjoying stitching on her. Right now I'm doing all the black, but I'm debating once I get like this page completed, because I was trying to get to a corner. I kind of messed up on the initial gridding I tried to do on this, so I was trying to make sure I had a good basis to orient my other stitches off of. I think maybe once I start filling in pages, I might try to fill in after I do the black. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But I have like 2 more Third Geek charts to start after that one, so maybe that's why I'm getting more progress, because I'm looking forward to doing the other ones. Next one is Cauldron of Mer. This is a unconventional XStitch chart. I am stitching this on a 22 count heart anchor 2/1 tent, and I have just this corner piece started. I have less than 600 stitches on this, but it is at 1.3%. I'm doing a crop. The crop stitch count is 45,365 stitches. So this one is already at 1%. I started this one back in October, on the 27th last year. So I do need to pull this one out. I hand dyed this heart anchor fabric. I like the way it's coming. Like, you can kind of see the outline of her hand in the water already with what I stitched in the corner here. So I do want to get more progress on this. I'm definitely going to be probably pulling this out during Halloween time because it's like a witchy mermaid. So, and I already bought another unconventional cross stitch chart. So if I want to start that one, I guess I have to get more progress on this one. And that one was my smallest full coverage piece. I kind of want to count this one because it's a Dimensions kit, but this is Angel of Elegance. It's a gold Dimensions kit. I guess I don't need to insert. This is what it will look like. And this is where I'm at. I've actually gotten quite a bit of stitching on this, more than I usually would have. I still have all my stuff out on it. Oh, maybe I should... Some of these pieces, I was going to do Stitch My Way to You. I got tagged by, I think, Silver Stitches to do that, and people picked my WIPs, and I have the tally still totaled up for you do a stitch per every kilometer away from the person. This is one of my pieces that I'm doing for that, and I have to stitch, I think it's just under 8,000 stitches, and I'm already a little over 1,000 stitches in. Maybe, I think, I have the actual stitch count somewhere. Let's see, I have it written down. So this pattern I put into Pattern Keeper, so the stitch count is kind of, yeah, just, it's not like an exact stitch count. Yeah, so I already have 1,300 stitches in just for this month, which is more stitching that I've gone into it. I think this is my oldest WIP. I started this back in like December of 2021 during the pandemic. So right now it's at 3,000, just over 3,300 stitches. It's at 10.5% according to the block stitch count. From what I put into Pattern Keeper. That's not the total stitch count, but that's what I have since I put it in there from a paper copy. And I'm using the kit materials, so it's stitched 2/1 on this 18 count white Ada that came with the kit. And so far you can already see a lot of the details, right? The sleeve, like I started in the center. To orient myself, I always try to do that with my kits because they don't always leave you the best margin. And I have it in this, I guess, machine embroidery hoop, but I like the stitch area, the horizontal view on it. And so far I've been making good progress. So I'm stitching a lot of white on white, it's always a pain, but there's a lot of that in the skirt, so we'll see how I get along. But yeah, so far so good. The next one is my Circle of Friends. This is a Mira. I think I have the pattern here. If not, I'll insert a picture. But I think I have everything over here. Yes. Okay. So this is the pattern. I'm going to be changing the skin tones in the hair to be more like my sister's. This is going to be a gift chart for my dad. He knows that it's for him. I got a very, very small start for New Year's. I cannot remember which way is up. I'm assuming it's this way. And this, I'm stitching this on a Picture This Plus Fathom 28 count linen, 2/2. I don't think I'm going to be changing out the dress colors or anything like that. So I've gotten a very, very small start. I do want to get more progress on this. It's only like 50 stitches in. This was part of my 12x12 sal, so 12 starts leading up to New Year, or counting down to New Year. Another pattern that I put into Pattern Keeper, it's around a little over 21,000 stitches, just the stitch count, and that's the cross stitches and the beads included in that. So but yes, I definitely want to pull this one out and get more progress on it, especially for spring, summertime. It's a pretty good stitch for that. So that's where we are with that one. I'm substituting a lot of the beads and the stuff from Stash. Okay. Next. Oh, that one I started, yeah, well, I just said New Year's Eve, so December 31st last year. Okay, next one was also 12x12. This is the Mermaid Marina. I think, yeah, the pattern's right here. This was one of the Autumn Lane Stitchery exclusive releases for their mermaid box last year. It was the kit in the box, so I'm using all the kitted materials. Currently, I have to pull it out of this is in my retreat bag. So they gave us Crystal Splash by Picture This Plus, and I chose 28 count. Sitting this 2/2. This fabric is gorgeous, and she's a big one. So it's this way, maybe. I'm assuming. let's see if we can tell based off the picture where we are. I think it's right here. Yeah, looks like the center. I usually start it off in the center. So that's all the stitching I got in. It's still got the needle in there. So I have it. I put this also in a pattern keeper. Yeah, around a little. It's 59 stitches, so 0.3%. This one's a little over 20,000 stitches with the beads and the specialty stitches and all that. So there's that. I probably need to. I know for sure I'm probably gonna get stitching on her in May and June. I stitch all my mermaids a lot during the summertime. But I probably need to put her on some Q snaps so I actually get progress on her instead of just having her tucked away with the kit materials. But she is going to be blingy. There's like 5 cards. This is not including the beads. There's like 5 cards of... Sorry, I stand corrected. 6 cards of Petite Treasure braid. Look at those colors. So pretty. Okay. Next one I have is Periwinkle Mermaid. This one I also took off Q snaps. Might be helpful if I put it back on Q snaps. This is by Cat at Warrior Stitches. I'm stitching this on a Picture This Plus Crystal Jazz 16 count. And I'm doing it 2/1. 16 count Ada. Okay, so this is where I'm at. I have 1,742 stitches out of the just under 20,000 stitches. And this is at 8.7%. I started this last year in April. So we're almost getting to the 1-year anniversary. Yeah, so I probably need to pull this out and maybe get some, maybe get it to 10%. We'll see. It's not bad stitching. I think 16 count is typically the kind of project kind of fabric that I would be able to stitch in hand with, but because this is opalescent, I prefer to have it in a Q-snap. And it has quarter stitches in the pattern. I don't know, you know, the Autumn Lane Stitchery designs, they have quarter stitches too, but in like detailed areas like around the face to give it more detail. This one seems to have it in a lot of interesting places, I guess. Because like on the one hand they have places where they do diagonals and they don't use quarter stitches, on the other hand they do. This is one of their like earlier designs. I think they did one pattern before this one, so maybe they're still like figuring out their design style. I know it just makes it a little bit more cumbersome when I'm stitching it to have to like watch out for which areas do and don't have quarter stitches, and it's kind of hard to tell sometimes when I'm stitching it. I don't know, maybe it's just the way I uploaded in Pattern Keeper, but I do want to get more progress on it though, and it is a gorgeous mermaid. And it will be going to a living. I already have someone in mind to gift it to, so. Okay, next. We have another Mirabilia. I'll insert a picture because I do not know where the pattern is currently. This is Mermaid of the Pearls. I'm stitching this on a, I believe this is 16 count Vita. And I hand-dyed this one. I'm doing it 2/1. This one I do have a decent start on, but I started this back in 2023 for my birthday, so in June. It's at 1,786 stitches. I have had to do some frogging. This is a darker piece of fabric, the way that I dyed it. It's gonna look gorgeous when it's finished, but I also experimented with like some spray paint. Yeah, that sounds horrible. It did exactly what you think it would. It stopped us from the holes and has made it a little more difficult to stitch on. But I do want to get back to this. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful mermaid and has a lot of beading, and I'm excited to get to the beading, but I want to finish all my stitching first. So I need to get more of a start than just this. But yes, so I'll definitely have to pull this one out later this year. Okay, next one is one I've shown more recently before. This is it's Unfortunate Souls by Forbidden Fabric Co. And I bought the kit. So this is you know, when you have stuff that you pulled out to do stuff with, and then you're trying to figure out where everything went. Oh, there it is. This is only called for fabric, which is Love Potion. This is a 16 count Ada, and I'm stitching at 2/1. This is how far I have gotten. I can definitely rotate this out now that I've finished Mercy and Grace. Maybe take this back to work. These are the colors. Look at that variation. So pretty. But it's just 5 colors, so there's no reason why I couldn't get more progress on this. And I think there's enough to do it twice. So that'll be fun. Okay. I started this back in November last year. I have November the 2nd from when me and my mom visited the Forbidden Fabric Co. store. It has 542 stitches out of 4,822, so it's at 11.2% right now. So pretty decent start. So definitely want to get more progress on that one. I'm keeping it in this little Spirited Away Ziploc bag my husband bought me at a convention. Along with the scissors he got me at the Fiber Festival. Okay, we're getting smaller and smaller projects. Sweet Summertime is the next one. I have to insert a picture here of what it looks like. I started this back as a Advent Christmas start in 2023, so December 26th. I am 2,138 stitches in, out of 6,371, so 33.6%. And this is where we are currently. I am stitching this on a Stitch Me fabric. It is a 36 count Folia Morte linen. And this is where I'm at. I have the legs stitched up and the tail of the rooster. Now I'm working up my way up to the body. So this is another one. I'll have to pull back out again. I have made changes to the chart, so that is also a cropped stitch count. The original did have more stitching on it. So I'm not changing anything on the rooster, I've decided. So you'll see the changes later on to like the watermelon and stuff. It's not going to be a watermelon anymore. The next one, I can't really show you a picture. I'm doing it as a round robin with my table from Stitch Florida, the retreat I went to last year. We're close to finishing it. I think I'm like at 87%, but I'm still waiting for the last part to be sent my way so I can wrap it up. We'll see. I have one more person's to stitch on, and then I have mine to get back and put final finishing touches on it. So I guess I'll just show you what the chart looks like. I can't show you an actual picture of my project. Okay, the next one is a stamped cross stitch chart. This was a gift from my sister. It's Wintry Wolf. It's another Dimensions kit. Honestly, not getting a lot of stitching done on this. I don't think I've had much. I think I pulled it out for last Christmas and got some more, and then I put it right back in. I think this is just gonna solely be... I don't stitch on Christmas projects a lot, you know, with my Christmas Angel. Or like winter projects, maybe that's a better way to put it. But this one, maybe because it's like... I'm having to pierce the fabric, I don't know. But it's like not something I reach for to stitch often. But I do pull it out, you know, during Advent time. This is the little bit of stitching out I've gotten in. But yeah, I'll keep plugging away at it. Obviously, working off paper copy for that because it's not like a grid chart. And so I'm not keeping up with my stitch count on that one. The next 6 WIPs, I cannot show you a picture of what they're going to look like. I can pull them out for you. I think one I restarted completely because I want to try out some thread that I got at the Fiber Festival. So there's nothing on this one because I think I went ahead and took the stitches out. But it's on this fabric that I dyed. Or maybe I didn't take all the stitches out. See, there's still some stitching here. But I'm going to change it over to using this red. It's a fiber I bought at the, well, my husband bought it for me at the Fiber Festival. It's 100% mulberry silk. So we'll see. I'm going to switch it over from using that white. We'll see how good it shows up on here. But I figured it's good Christmas colors. So that was my first one. The next one I'm doing on a, that's a 14 count Ada, if I didn't say. This is a 32 count Belfast Heritage by Pictures Plus. It's a linen. I'm stitching on this with Most Sale Silk and Rainbow set number 17. And that's a little bit that I have so far. I also have this. This is a silk that I bought. This was like a tatting booth at the festival. It is silk. It's more like a DMC Pearl Cotton weight. But I just have it there if I'm going to use it later on. We'll see. I haven't decided. This is kind of like a... These are like play around projects for me. Okay. Then I have these. This is a 22 count Hardinger I dyed. I'm stitching on this with black Most Sale Silk. There's my start. Stitching 1/1 on that one. I have this one. This is another linen that I dyed. I am stitching 1/2 and Most Sale Silk colorway poolside. And that is my start on that. And this is another. This one feels like it's cotton, but it's like a pearl count fiber I got from the tatting table. Dyed this. This is a different one. Oh, I love this fabric. This is dyed by Black Cauldron Dye Works. It's a 28 count linen in the colorway Tiger Lily. And this is all I have so far. And I'm stitching on Coffee Beans, Most Sale Silk, 1. No, I think this is, yeah, 2/2. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there should be one more. Yes. This is the last one. Yeah, I believe that's my start. This is another Most Sale Silk in the colorway Rainbow Set color 8. This is another 22 count Hardinger, and I'm stitching 1/1 on this. So, was that cryptic enough? I probably need to go back and getting... Those aren't supposed to be like super big whips, but I'm not stitching on them, so they haven't really been getting done. So maybe I need to pull those out and make some of those work projects. next one is Twilight Mermaid. I think that one's in here as well. Yes. Okay, this is a kit from Under the Sea. Fabrics Mermaid box from 2023. It's a designed by Meridian Designs. I don't know if they've already released this. I believe this goes like this. This is the tail. It's on this called for Nephili Belfast. No, this is not linen. This is a 16 count Ada, and it's opalescent. I started this as an Advent start for last year. Sorry, not Advent, 12 by 12 start. I got 75 stitches in, and it's at 3%. The total stitch count, which I put into Pattern Keeper, is around 2,500 stitches. So that's where I'm at with that one. Another mermaid, definitely going to be coming out for Mermaid. We'll see if I get more progress on her later on. And then I have one last WIP, and it is Cardinal Hill Stitches, The Magic of Winter. This was a kit that was gifted to me by one of my table mates from Stitch Florida, very generously. I supplied the fabric. This is a 16 count Ada that I dyed. And they included all the threads. So I got a good start on my snowman. I got 59 stitches in. This was also a 12 by 12 start. I'm at 2.8%, so not quite 3. This is another good take to work project. So I might contemplate putting that in my work bag. We'll see. And that is all my WIPs. We're already at 33 minutes. Somebody asked me to do a fabric dive. You already saw us cut sign of a bunch of my fabrics. Some of them were hand dyed that I bought. Some of them were things I dyed myself. I think I'm going to go ahead and do another dive through my fabrics just because somebody asked. And it's been a minute since I've gone through all of it, so I'll try to do that video next, and we'll see when we get all these uploaded. And then I will be doing an update video later this week, Monday or Tuesday. So until next time, let me know which WIP's your favorite. Let me know if you have any tips for how you keep up with the progress you want to see on your full coverages. Are you working on any BOPs? How many do you have on the go? I think I have, I'm up to 5. That's not too bad, right? Anybody want to throw out their numbers? Make me feel a bit better. This is a lot. This is the most that I've had in a long time. And I think I might have to pare it down. I think it's a little too much. I'm usually more comfortable with having like maybe 4 that I rotate through. And I allowed myself to start a lot of things, and I'm happy that I did, but it's gotten a little out of hand. So I want to rein it back in a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, let me know which one's your favorite. Let me know if you have any tips for me. And if you recently put out your WIP read, drop me a comment and I'll make sure I head over and check it out. Okay, until next time, happy stitching. Bye.